Well, morning guys, Rich here, and I'm on a shopping mission. I've been selling a few of my RC cars. I feel it's time to refresh the fleet, so I've come down to NorCal Hobbies today in San Jose. No sunny day, and I was in the area, so we're going to go and check out, see what they've got in stock, see if anything attracts my eye. And with it being Sunday, guys, it is outside race day.
Go biting the dot.
No inside racing today, but there normally is on a Sunday. Well guys, the new ARRMA TYPHON V4 has finally won me over and caught my eye, so we'll take this home and do a quick unboxing and review on it. So guys, I'm back from a shopping trip. What did I opt for? I opted for the new ARRMA TYPHON V4 6S buggy, 4-wheel drive, 70-mile-an-hour speed, out the box with the optional pinion which is included in the box. Lots to like about these new ARRMAs. Now, if anybody thinks like he's an ARRMA fanboy, you will note the banners here, ARRMA and Traxxas. The one thing I would say here guys, I have no time for this ARRMA Traxxas war thing at all. You'll see all sorts of different brands of cars here. I just like good RC cars. If you've never owned an ARRMA before and just had Traxxas, go and buy one. See what the fuss is about. Likewise, guys, if you've only ever owned ARRMAs before, go and buy a Traxxas car. See what the fuss is about. They both have their pluses and their minuses on there. You only will find out if you own one. Don't stand there and throw stones from a glass house if you've never owned an ARRMA. Likewise, don't stand and throw stones at ARRMA if you've only ever owned Traxxas. Hope that makes sense, but I'm sure people will have their say in the comment section below the video. Anyway, the new ARRMAs, the V4 versions that they brought out in the past week, quite a lot of changes. ARRMA, for those that didn't know, got sued by Traxxas over the inboard suspension thing on the ARRMA Nero, which I used to have. Which I will also point out was invented in Formula 1 in the 1960s. Did you see any Formula 1 teams sue any other Formula 1 team? I think not. But anyway, we won't get into that lawsuit stuff. Anyway, the long and the short of it was, ARRMA went through a fairly tricky time. Horizon Hobby ended up buying out Hobbyco. For quite a while, ARRMA's spare situation was very, very up and down, more down than up. That has now been resolved. ARRMA spares, there are plentiful. And there were no new developments, but they were obviously working on these 6S cars. Lots of the mods done to these cars now are ones that people were doing in the aftermarket. So you can now buy one off the shelf that's got a lot of the parts that people were fitting on as mods, and things like the Kraton and the Italian. They fitted like a strut brace on there, new roll cage, things like that. But anyway, on the back of this box is like 5 or 6 key points that are fitted to this car, which really caught my attention, because I've owned 2 ARRMA TYPHONs before and they were absolutely fantastic speedrun cars, which is kind of what I've got in mind for this. But 70 out of the box is pretty impressive nonetheless. Anyway, let me get the camera down, let's have a look around the back of the box, see what all the fuss is about, because I think you'll like this one guys. And for anyone that thinks this house is just filled with ARRMA stuff, got my Traxxas Full-Tech speedrun car down on there on the side, my beloved Traxxas TRX4 down there, ARRMA down there, and 2 big glossies over there. So quite a mix of cars. But anyway, let me turn this box around. Let's see what all the fuss is about. So anyway, what's this like about the ARRMA TYPHON V4? It's ready to run. Doesn't come with batteries or a charger, but then like these Traxxas cars don't either. 6S, so you've got plenty of poke. 17-mile-an-hour plus, out the box with the optional pinion fitted. Okay, let's check out those features on the back of the box I talked about. The first one is purely cosmetic, the change in body colour, but it does look quite sexy nonetheless. Second one is a switch back to aluminium shock caps and protectors. Third one, easy access center diff and motor, enabling you to be able to just simply slide the motor in and out to change the pinion gear and access the spur gear far more easily than before. But I would recommend buying one of these just for this feature alone. Fourthly, high-speed tyres. We've got new low drag wheels and multi-terrain tyres fitted to them, which those do look quite impressive, but we should see how they handle at speed. New hub nut O-rings. I'm guessing this is to stop this unscrewing and the pillow ball coming loose. Never had that as a problem on my ARRMAs, but it may have been a problem for other people. Do have your say. Did they come loose on any of your ARRMAs? I'm most interested to hear on that one, guys. ARRMA are fully aware that a lot of people use these for high-speed runs, and so we've got a new high-speed, low downforce wing fitted on the back with a stronger mount. New radio, it's now a Spectrum radio as opposed to a Tactic one. Some people have criticised this. I actually think it's pretty well featured. New IC5 connectors, EC5 compatible. And we've got new never pop ball ends. Again, I never had a problem, even with any of my ARRMAs, with the ball ends popping off. But if people did, please do tell me. But now they've got these new ones that shouldn't pop off. New never come loose aluminum servo saver. Again, never a problem that I had before, but I'd love to hear if you had a problem with them, guys. Anyway, loads more features, but they're all looking inside the box, so let's get it open. Okay, guys, let's see what we get for our money. Now, I drove one of these down at JJ Customs, and I have to say it accelerates substantially quicker than my new Italian does. So what have we got inside the box there? Ubiquitous toolkit, and the all-important optional speed pinion for that 70+ miles an hour is included in here. Speed chart in there, and your instruction manual and quick start guide. Diving on in here, I'm guessing we've got our radio. We've got nothing else in the box. Now the new radio. It's made by Tactic. People have criticised this, but I actually quite like it. It's got a lot of features packed on this radio, as I'll talk about in just one second. The original cars had a Tactic radio, still pretty good, but to my mind, it's not got as many features on it as this thing has. Now, the original Tactic radios had steering trim, throttle trim, and steering dual rate, and you could reverse everything on the back of the radio, like the steering and the throttle. Now on here you can still reverse the steering and the throttle on the new Spectrum radio, but you've not just got throttle trim and steering trim, you've got throttle dual rate and steering dual rate on there. You've also got different power levels that you can set on there, 50, 75 and 100% on there. So when I'm doing the speed test, I'll actually play around with that and we'll see what it does on 6S stock out of the box at 50%, 75%, 100%. This is a great feature for anybody new to these cars, because 6S is an awful lot of power. These things accelerate like a rocket. If you've just been used to a 3S car, guys, this thing is going to blow your mind in terms of acceleration. So very, very neat feature. Start on 50% if you've not had one before. Now for the car itself. And I had forgotten just how big these things are. What do we think, guys? I am liking that black and red colour scheme a lot. That's what actually caught my eye when I saw one out on the shelf on here. And they've done some really neat touches. One of the things that I see straight away when looking at it is they've vented the back of the body here. Now, one of my older Typhon cars that I got for speed runs, I actually cut these slots out on the back. They're now done from the factory, so they're obviously looking and paying attention to what people are doing in the aftermarket, which is absolutely great news. Anyway, let me get the camera down and have a closer look around it. But thumbs up if you like that body, guys. Okay, starting at the back, check out the rear sway bar there and those big bore aluminum shocks. We got little shock boots on there as well, and these are the new low drag wheels and tyres, because it's a very, very popular car for speed runs on it. Speaking of speed runs, that is the new low downforce, low drag wing on there, which I can see looks substantially different from the previous one. Moving on round. Now the one thing you will note, guys, no front bumper on here, but the speed you'll be going with these things, you're going to be wanting to pay very careful attention. Anyway, check out those A-arms. Again, big bore shocks, threaded shocks as well, all round. Front sway bar there. And diving down in there, we got our pillar ball suspension, all round. And the one thing I would say, starting at the front here, is we've got our easy access front differential on the car, and round here at the back, you've also got the same easy access diff on there, which is more improved. Now, first of all, before I get the body off, that is new. That's obviously where the receiver aerial pops up through the body. Speaking of that, getting that body off, we've got the non-loose body clips, where when you pull the pin off, it stays attached using these little rubber tags. Stays attached to the body, so you never lose your body pins. I would also point out you've got fully adjustable front and rear suspension. Check out the turnbuckles there. Anyway, let's see what we've got under the skin, guys. Okay, now these immediately jump out to me. This is the new connector. It said EC5 compatible. I'm not sure quite the change on there, what the change is required for. This little loop here, guys, is so you can run one 4S pack or one 6S pack, or you can run two 2S packs or two 3S packs. So it gives you options, one big single pack or twin packs on there. Now the only downside I would say to the new battery setup is these new connectors on here. I use Dean's in the main with adapters on here, so I'm going to have to get a new set of adapters for running the car, which is a slight bit of a pain on there, so I don't really want to go and get the new battery system for this at this stage of the car. Okay, starting at the front, the one thing I will say on the ARRMAs, you've got a lot of metal on it. A metal shock tower at the front, all the metal steering assembly on there. Moving on down, you've got ESC on the brushless waterproof ESC on the left, our receiver box down there on the right, the battery tray, which is much improved. The first ARRMA TYPHON I had was I could barely fit 6S batteries in there. You can now fit them in with ease, and they ain't going anywhere with all this new strap system they've got in place there. And we've got a huge brushless motor on there, 2050 kV, which is going to give this thing plenty of power. Okay guys, now key features on these ARRMA cars, you will hear the expression ARRMA tough, is there's an all metal drivetrain. Everything from the front to the rear to the centre diff, all metal on here. They make this very unique noise when you move them on the side. And you think, oh, that sounds horrendous, Rich. That noise pretty much disappears when you start running the car. And how it does is beyond me, but just trust me, it does. Now this is the new slide of the big feature on this car and across all of the 6S ARRMA ranges is the slide out pinion change on here, where you can loosen those two screws or remove them on the top of the motor there, slide the motor out to the side to remove the pinion, and then just slide it in to change your new gear. Definite improvement. Speedrun people will be very happy with that gear change there. The other new features I talked about on the outside of the box, we've got aluminum shock caps on there and the shock guards. That's a new feature for the TYPHON V4 car. Now the other new feature is the hub nut O-rings, which are the other side of here, holding those pillow balls in place. And I'm guessing the O-ring there stops the hub nut from unscrewing and the pillow ball coming loose. Never found that a problem, but I'm guessing if they made that modification it was to some people, but I'd like to know people's thoughts on it. Okay, now I'm sure you've heard the expression ARRMA tough, because this is where it really starts getting interesting, guys. Check out those A-arms on there. More to the point, check out the thick metal chassis, aluminum chassis, running the full length of the car. And again, substantial A-arms there at the rear. These things are pretty much bulletproof. Even if you bend one of the chassis, you can get a hammer and straighten them back out. Okay, when it comes to that suspension, how much travel have we got? Lifting that rear wheel, the front wheel rather, until the rear wheel just lifts. Probably about 4 inches of travel on there. Oh man, you can just tell that is probably one of the best and damp sprung cars. The combination on there that I've felt in quite some time, that just feels like it's going to be slippery smooth over the bumpy stuff. Okay, lifting that rear wheel up till the front just lifts. Probably got about 3 inches of travel, slightly less at the rear, but that same silky smooth springing and damping. I just cannot wait to get this thing outside, guys. So guys, got some batteries ready, so we're going out for a quick play in a second. Have I made the right decision with getting this? I think so. Should have gone for something like the Traxxas X-Max. That's debatable, but I'm sure you guys will have your opinion on that. But it might change after you see what this thing's capable of, because I have a feeling we're going to have some fun with this, boys. Anyway, let's get going. And I'm going to take it out for a quick spin on 4S, but I'm also taking my 6S twin packs along with me. So get them on my Venom charger. Let's get going. Now, that battery connector nearly caught me out, because on all the other ARRMAs that I've used, I used Dean's batteries through one of these adapters for the XT90 on it, but these are compatible with an EC5. So luckily, I had to have some EC5 connectors, because I use these on the big Lotus on there. So job's done there. Bit of a save from the outset there, Richie. Now the one thing I would say, you can never have enough battery adapters. I hate to even think of how much I've spent putting this lot together, but then they do help you out on days like today. Result. Let's get going anyway. Now guys, I would say it's lively straight out of the box. That steering is super quick. You're going to maybe want to dial that steering rate down on there, because that is a very quick change in direction on there. Anyway, it's just 50% throttle on here, so let's see what we go. Just 4S on there. Straight up to 75. Straight up to 100%. Oh, nice one, Rich. That's just on 4S there, guys. Pretty good brakes on the thing. Although you can set the brakes by changing the parameters on the ESC, which I'll probably cover at a later date. Seriously, on the grass. Not lots going to trouble this, as you think. No AVC or traction control on these things, I will say. That was what we call a nice escape there, Rich, because that could have been very expensive and very humorous on YouTube straight out of the box, but just throwing it around on there, guys. Even on 4S, you've got plenty of power. Definitely need a bigger area to play in my yard here. But thought it was good to give it a bit of a test straight away. Woo! Frighteningly quick done, but even on 4S, that acceleration. Now, these tyres are definitely off-road, because they're wanting to, you can provoke it into power slide on here fairly easily. My first thought is, with these tyres, if you're going to run them on road a lot, you are going to wear these tyres out in absolutely 2 seconds flat, because even on 4S here, it's got so much power, it'll just light all 4 wheels up without any problem at all. These are going to wear down very, very quickly on blacktop. I have got some tarmac only tyres, which I shall fit for doing the speed runs later on in the week. Anyway, folks, 6S is clearly going to be too much power for the space I've got in here in the yard today, but I hope that'll give you a little taster of it. 6S test coming up later on in the week, and I will also be putting the GPS on board and seeing what we do on 4S and 6S with the optional speed pinion on board. Hope you like that quick unboxing and review of the of the new ARRMA TYPHON V4. If you did and you don't want to miss future videos of this car, then don't forget to subscribe, guys.
We hope you liked this video. If you did, please click on the circle image to subscribe. And if you hit subscribe, then don't forget to hit that little notifications bell next to it.